Today something not so new arrived. The Azza Onyx 260. So I bought this case some time ago, and the only reason why was because it was a suggestion shortly before I was buying something else, and honestly I thought it looked kinda cool in the picture. The case is not new by any means, and it was actually released in 2016 with a 70 euro price tag and can still be purchased today for around 55 to 70 euros depending on the retailer. Having that said, just keep in mind that from now on we are looking at a 4-year-old product, and having the PC industry moving rather fast, I may tend to criticize things that were okay back in the time. And while we're at it, oh, what is this? Ooh. Oh no, what is this? But before I get started ranting about how much I hated the DVD drives, let's get to the features. We have a up to full ADX motherboard size, 2 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0 with no reset button, a separate power supply tunnel with removable dust filter, space for two 3.5 inch or two 2.5 inch drives, and extra space for another 3.5 inch or two 2.5 inch next to the main board. Space for one DVD drive at the top behind this thing. Space for a up to 240 rad in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fan spots with one fan in the back and one in the front already included. And despite the spots on the PSU tunnel being more of a design thing, those in here may actually work because of the additional inlet underneath the case. On the cable management side, we have pretty big cutouts in the bottom and next to the main board. Now coming to the really important stuff. A big ass tempered glass side panel and of course RGB. For its age, it's not bad at all. This case has a illuminated Azza cutouts on the PSU tunnel, some RGB going on in the front, an included RGB strip, and for some reason one fan that just shines white. But to top it all off, besides this ugly and needless thing, the front lid actually hides a very useful RGB color switch. But before I can give any details on the features and on the case overall, let's put something inside. Okay, having built on this, I had a bit more to say, but first I have to put this off because I've used the wrong power supply and now the GPU is spinning all the way and I can't hear anything. Starting off with the build quality. It's not bad, nor impressively good, but the metal is okay and you can push a bit. But I need to mention that the glass is not only quite thick, but also got a rubber sealing all around it, making it less sensitive to any sort of vibrations. The front, on the other hand, is quite cheap. Sure, it's pure plastic to begin with, but applying a bit of pressure is a bad idea. The cable management holes in the bottom are alright, but overall there is just not enough space in the back or in the PSU tunnel to achieve any sort of decent cabling. So cable management, big no-no. The PCIe brackets in the back are a bit annoying. They are still those break-off things, and the screw hider thingy here has to be removed completely and then fiddled back on. But those are relics of the past, and the case being 4 years old, which is like 32 in PC game years, I will give it a pass. Something that stood out quite nice are the feet. Those are no ordinary screw-on feet, those are gigantic. Just look at the amount of space you have underneath this. You could even fit a freaking rounder in there. Coming to the airflow, well, that's a yes and a no. The fact that there are no top vent air holes makes it pretty bad, but they added these holes in the bags to probably compensate for that. The front airflow, on the other hand, is not bad at all. There is actually no air coming from the direct front, but this pretty big grid on both sides should let more than enough air pass through. And the issue I pointed out with the Intertech V3 case, where they pressed the fans against the glass, is not present here. They left a pretty big air pocket in the front of the fan, which allows for actual air being sucked into the case instead of just having the fan suck itself to the glass. But to finish off with the airflow, the fans are garbage. They are loud, they can push much air and should be replaced immediately, but that's just the usual case with free fans. Now, something I have to mention is my disappointment with the built-in RGB. Having the button is great, but the presentation pictures are a bit misleading. If we have a look at the website, it clearly looks like you have RGB lights all over the front section, but actually you only have 5 of them in the bottom. I mean, you still have LEDs, but it's just not quite the same compared to the 3D image. But then at least they included a RGB strip. Something else I want to point out is the color. You get the case in 2 different colors, white and the black one I have here. Now, my issue with this is looking again at the online images, even though it states black, the image is clearly grey. So comparing the advertised product with the real deal is just a bit misleading. Now, another topic would be the overall look of the case. And there I really don't want to give my opinion on it because of its age. Me personally, I am not a big fan of the front. It's cheap, it's shiny plastic and just doesn't look pleasing to me. But then again, it's 2016 and it was a time where cases with way too much bling bling were a thing. So to recommend or not to recommend? I mean, with cases it's mostly a what do you like thing, but buying an old case can end up with giving away features like top airflow, and at that point for 60 or 70 euros there are just way better cases out there. So if you like it, sure, but I wouldn't. Anyway, to wrap this up, if you're interested, I will leave the manufacturing links in the description. But if you liked the video, don't forget to leave some feedback with a thumb up or thumb down, and maybe you can tell me your opinion or even propose products in the comment section below. See ya!